I'm Heather from Here Booktubes, and today is a November TBR. I didn't have many November releases that I cared to make a video about, and so I decided to skip it this month and do a TBR instead. This is gonna be quick. Obviously, I look a mess, it's all right, but these are my priority reading plans for November. First one is Devil in Winter, which is Wallflowers number 3 by Kleypas. I actually wanted to get to this in October. I never did. Reading, I had a lot of commitments, but that's fine. I got it from the library again. I'm gonna try in November. I feel like it would be a good time of year. I am really enjoying this series and want to continue it. This setup happened in the second book for this third book, and it was quite the setup, so I'm ready to see what the author did with the story, and I want to get to it sooner rather than later. Then I want to read the entire Fiennes family trilogy. It is Thanksgiving novellas, so nice and short. The first one is No Thank You by Alexandra Warren. The second is Thank You Next by Nicole Falls. And the third is Thank Me Later by Christina C. Jones. These are the Thanksgiving reads I want to prioritize that I already know of. So possibly I'll sneak in another Thanksgiving read here or there, but I think currently all the ones I've been actively interested in reading, I'm caught up on, except this trilogy came out like the week of Thanksgiving last year and I never did get to it. Then I want to read Flawless by Elsie Silver. This is a small town romance. I am definitely a fall being fantasy, small town, paranormal, sports, those types of like subgenres speak fall to me. Obviously, I still read a little bit of all my usual interests just based on my mood, but definitely something that I want to try and pick up during the fall. Naima's reads single-handedly sold me on this book, said that she's now in love with Cowboy, all the things, so I know it's like enemies to lovers. She's supposed to keep him in line. He's like, I'm a grown man, I don't need anybody to keep me in line. Just looking forward to it. I think I'll like it. Then 30 and 30 is happening this month, and when I tell you that I got played, I got played. Izzy is a host for 30 and 30, which is 30 volumes of manga in 30 days. Volumes of manga typically are pretty short. You can often read them in about 30 minutes or so. So it's a doable challenge, even though it's a large number. However, your girl is not a heavy manga reader. I do like to dabble in it, but I am a text reading books on the text. That's what I actively enjoy about reading. Obviously, not everyone can, and I would certainly try and find other ways to consume my books if I could not read them on text, but that's like part of the immersion for me. So that's definitely my number one. That's the thing that I can do all of the time, right? Manga, not so much. Number one, it's different. It's a different format. And then also a lot of times they're very shy and nervous and it takes forever. And I know so much of that is cultural reference, so it's not like a problem, but for me, I get frustrated by them, not being willing to admit their feelings and things like that, because that's not what I like to read generally. So even though I understand the reason for it in manga, it still doesn't work as well for me. However, there are some that I really like. I am so manga'd out because Izzy sent me this huge box of manga after the last 30 and 30 was over, mind you. And then I sent it back so that they could announce the next 30 and 30. And I was like, excuse me. I've been trying to get through this manga for 3 months and you had 30 and 30 the month before and the month after. Just rude behavior. All of that to say, I plan on reading 1 volume of manga for 30 and 30 because I just cannot read multiple manga this month. And that's fine. I still want to participate. You don't have to read 30, but I do have the 4th volume of Fire in His Fingertips, which I've had for a few months, but I had to read all of Izzy's before I was allowed to read it. I have rules for myself. But I am going to read it in the month of November for 30 and 30. I'm really excited about it because they brought on Ashley at Bookish Realm, or Realm of Comics is her channel that focuses on manga and comics and graphic novels, and Brie at the Lock Booktician, who has been on her own manga discovery journey, much like myself. And so I'm really excited about that because obviously I love these people. It's co-created, hosted by Izzy at Happy For Now, who I already mentioned, but also Shay at Shay Geeks Out. If you want to know stuff about manga, Shay knows it all. She's honestly too advanced for me sometimes, but she is like the one. She is the one to go to if you have any questions. And I also really want to participate again, not like the full thing, but I really want to participate in Skodan, which is a indigenous literature readathon that has been created and hosted by Kim at Native Lady Book Warrior, whom I love, have been following for years at this point. They finally created their own readathon and it's amazing. Lots of different prompts. I'm not going to do all the different prompts because I am a bare minimum type of girl. However, I have a few different books that I do really want to read. So one is the third book in the Criminal Intention series by McCade. I've read the first two in October. This is a male detective slow burn series, and it's written like the episodes of a crime show, which works incredibly well for me. So I am absolutely loving it, even as the romance is just like kind of a part of it. I am very into the writing, the entire way that it's set up, the pacing, all of it. So I'm really looking forward to continuing that series. The author is Black, Asian, and Indigenous, and I already know that I really like their writing and I'm actively reading the series. So that's perfect. I want to read at least the next one, probably the next couple in November, because I'm really into it, that series right now. Then the last two that I have depend on whether or not I am able to get them from the library. My library has them, but they're checked out, and they've been checked out like every time I've been checking. So we'll see if I get a hold of them in November or not. But the first one is A Broken Blade by Melissa Blair. This is a fantasy romance that was self-published, I believe, and then picked up by traditional publishing and is like doing really well. I haven't heard anybody really talking about it, like that they've read it, but I guess it's very popular. So I'm not sure why I haven't seen people reading it, but I am interested in reading it because it's an Indigenous author specifically, and my library has it. I'm hoping. They have like 4 different ebook copies and they're all out. So I'm really hoping that I am able to get hold of one. It's definitely, I think it's like Enemies to Lovers. I remember putting on my anticipated releases and like being into the synopsis and stuff. I don't exactly remember what that was, but it doesn't change the fact that it's on my TBR. And then lastly, Black Sun by Rebecca Roanhorse. I'm sure you've all heard of this one. I know it's been on my list for forever, but I am really in the fantasy mood. We'll see how that pans out if I actually end up reading any fantasy books, but I'm in the fantasy mood, so I wanted to try and read the couple of Indigenous fantasy authors that I know I have on my TBR. So we shall see. We shall see, but that's what I'm attempting to read this month, and I feel good about all of these. I feel like I'm gonna like them. So yeah, let me know if you have read or want to read any of these, if you're participating in 30 and 30 or in Skodan, and I hope that you have a really good month. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!